Welcome and welcome back. If you're returning, welcome back. If this is your first time, welcome. If this is your first time, all of my dishes are easy, delicious, and easy to make. And if this is your first time, let me tell you, I don't like to keep you waiting, so let's get into it. If you're returning, welcome back, and I thank you for returning. I thank you for viewing my channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. It costs you absolutely nothing. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Right now, I think I'm at 920, 926. Please, your full support means so very much. So let's get into it. So the weather is really nice. And so I decided, why not make cheesecake cupcakes? And I know what you're thinking, when you try to make cheesecake, and did I tell you it's no bake? Yeah, I'm using Philadelphia, and this just happened to be on sale. If you have another brand on sale, use whatever brand you have on sale. So if you go to these bakeries, and even in the supermarket, cheesecake is like very expensive. Well, maybe not very expensive, but it's more expensive recently than it was. I say like that. And I know what you're thinking, cheesecake is kind of bland, and sometimes it can be. Or we all like different flavors in my house. Like when you go to the supermarket or a bakery and you may see strawberry cheesecake, caramel cheesecake, or different flavors. Well, if your family like different flavors, I got that too. So now this is just softened cream cheese, and you want to take the cream cheese out, I would say the night before, because you want it as soft as possible. And this is really soft. So you almost want it like butter, softened butter. Okay. So now, again, this is no bake. Like I said, everything is easy and delicious with everyday ingredients. So what I'm going to add is vanilla. And believe it or not, when you buy the cheesecake from the bakery or from the supermarket, it always have vanilla, even though you may not be able to taste it exactly what it is, but it's vanilla. I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon, and I'm using dark vanilla because I'm not really concerned about the color of the cheesecake, because we're going to make a strawberry cheesecake, we're going to make a caramel cheesecake. And let me know in the comments, do you say caramel or do you say caramel? Now I'm going to loosen this up, and I'm going to use a splash of milk. I can go on and on about the price of food and groceries. Again, I don't know where you are, what city you live in. Drop that in a comment as well. But where I am, everything is up. And when I say everything, I mean everything. There's not like one thing in the grocery store that's having an increase in price. So it's very expensive. And so when I can make a nice treat for the family and control the price of it, why not? Save your coins as much as you can. And still treat yourself. See, that's what you want. You just want it loose. And I'm going to show you why in a minute why you want it loose. But you want it loose as possible. Now, can you put this in a blender? Of course you could. But let me tell you a little story. One time I was watching a channel, and a person was making this delicious cake. And you can tell it was going to be delicious just by the ingredients and how, it was coming to look. And one of the things they was using was a Cuisinart. And at that time, the Cuisinart was like all of $1,000, if not more. Now, the price has probably dropped since then, but I kid you not, it was like $1,000. And I remember thinking, there's no way I'm going to be able to make that cake. I'm not going out buying the Cuisinart. And then I stopped and I thought, my grandmother used to make cakes. My mother made cakes. And they didn't have Cuisinarts. People has been making cake for thousands of years without those fancy machines. Now, by all means, if you have a stand mixer, you have a Cuisinart, you have a blender, go ahead and use it. But what I like to show you on this channel is that you can make all those fancy desserts without any of those equipment or ingredients. And so that's why, from time to time, maybe I will use a food processor sometime. But if you don't have one, that's fine. And plus, if you don't want to take one out and you don't want to have to clean it, after you finish, that's fine. And besides, you get your workout. So How are things going for you? I was going to say America, but I don't know where you're watching from. I would love to know. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit more milk. And again, if you didn't want to use milk, you don't have to. Or you can use any milk that you like. Let me put it that way. This is just regular cow milk. But if you have oat milk, if you have soy milk, chestnut milk, there are so many different types of milk nowadays, much more than when I was growing up. When I was growing up, it was only rice milk and goat milk, besides cow milk. Okay. So now, remember, this is the base. And I know you don't believe it, but lemon goes a long way. Now, if you have fresh lemons, great. But I always have this on hand. So I always stick with it. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, that's going to be so bitter. It won't. I'm going to show you why in a minute. And again, I'm calling these cheesecake, cupcake desserts. Okay. Does anyone have any plans to travel for the summer? Since the weather is so nice, I haven't traveled in so long, and I don't think I will be traveling anytime soon. But if you are, congrats and let me know. And if anyone in your family is graduating, this would be a nice little treat to have when they come over and you do a little graduation party, whether you having it in your backyard or inside your house. This is great. Okay, so now this is the base, but not quite. This stuff is golden. Now, it's really just sweetened condensed milk. You don't have to use sweetened condensed. You just use condensed, is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't have to be sweetened. Sugar added, let me say that. But I am using Splenda. So for those who are watching a sugar, you can use Splenda. If you don't have Splenda in your market, because it was kind of hard for me to find also, you can just use condensed milk. And again, and don't worry, as always, all of the ingredients and measurements will be in the description box. And one thing, you don't have to add sugar. If you are using the sweet and condensed milk, you don't need to add sugar. And I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm going to use less than half a can. And a can is about 14 ounces. I'm going to use a lot less than that. I am going to use about 7 ounces. Maybe 6. Again, okay, there we go. So now, and believe it or not, just right here, if you wanted to stop right here and not add anything else, you can. I mean, the flavor of this is just delicious. So is the color. And again, I'm not concerned about the color because, again, we're going to make caramel and we're going to make strawberry. This is delicious just as it is. If you didn't want to add any other flavor into this, you don't have to. This is perfect just the way it is. Now, this is why I have this bowl. I am going to put some over here. And as you can see, I'm not putting any eggs. So why am I saying that? If you wanted to taste this and see if it's sweet enough for you or your family, you can do that because there isn't anything raw in it. I think I put a little bit too much, so. Okay. There we go. So now, remember I said strawberry cheesecake? Yeah. Quick, easy, and delicious. So there we go. And again, if you don't like strawberry, suppose you like grape or apricots or, I don't know, peaches, mango. I can see mango cheesecake. Guess what? You can do that. Now I'm going to keep stirring this and stirring this. And that's why I said you didn't need to add any sugar to it. So now, I'm supposed to have a ladle. I don't know where it is. So I'm just going to spoon it right into here or pour it. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to do another one. And at the bottom of that, if you're wondering what that white is, that's just parchment paper to help it come out of the container. And I think I'm going to do one more. Okay. I'm telling you, your family is going to love this, and you can tell them it came from the bakery if you want. Or no, I wouldn't tell you to say that, but you could definitely say that it's homemade. because it is. And you made it yourself, and you did. Okay, so here we go with the caramel. Now I say caramel, maybe say caramel. If you say caramel, put 1, caramel 2 in the comments. I mean, people always tell me you have an accent, so I'd like to see if anyone else. I'm trying to open up this. Sounds the same way I do. Because truly, I don't think I have an accent, but hey, how would I know? Okay, so a little bit in. And see, now you see why I said you didn't have to add any sugar to it. It's sweet enough, and it really is. Okay. And nice and smooth. And so, just say the family is coming over and you don't know what to make real fast. This is it. They will love it. Everyone in your house can have the flavor that they're like. Now, I just did too, but it's suppose you have a chocolate lover, somebody that just loves chocolate. Guess what? You can make chocolate. I'm going to pour a little bit more. And I'm going to get this in the refrigerator. No, you could put this in the refrigerator, but if you really want to get it speed up, like if you want to speed it up and get it on the table, you could put it in the freezer. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for about a half an hour. And you get to decide how like stiff you want it. If you want it still kind of semi-soft, half an hour is more than enough. If you want it really like stiff, like you cut into it, then I would go for an hour. Okay, let's get this in the fridge. Okay, so this took a little longer than I thought it would take, but maybe I was just a little too greedy and really wanted to eat it real fast. But I did get these into the freezer. Now, of course, if you put them in the freezer, they're going to freeze and stiffen up faster. But you could put it in your refrigerator. If you put it in your refrigerator, again, everyone's refrigerator is at a different temperature. So if you put it in the refrigerator, I would say after 30 to 45 minutes, it will stiffen up. If you don't want to wait that long, of course, you can put it inside of the freezer. Now, I don't know. I hope the camera is picking up the 2 different colors. Do you remember? One is strawberry and the other one is caramel. And to me, it actually looked like what it is, strawberry caramel. Again, please take a moment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It really helped the channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I know we can do it. Please share this video. Leave a comment. Now, I can leave it just like it is. I'm telling you, it's delicious just the way it is. These cheesecake, cupcake desserts. And again, if you don't like the flavor that I use, you can change it. You can make it blueberry. You can make it mango. Now, I don't know. Do y'all remember these? I'll bring it closer. Yeah, I remember when these were a penny. When they were a penny. Maybe I'm dating myself. Yeah, $2.99. Can you believe it? And I'm just going to put this on top of the caramel ones. And again, if you say caramel, put 1 in the comments. And if you say caramel, can you put 2? Yeah. Okay. I'm always curious about that. Caramel and caramel. That's it. Okay, so let's hurry up. The weather is beautiful today. I hope it is where you are. And when I say beautiful, just to go out and enjoy yourself. Just to give whoever want to pick one an idea of what the flavor would be. And I have strawberries that was on sale. So I'm just going to place one right here. And again, you don't have to do this, but you know me. If this is your first time, I always like to add a little something to it. Just to let those who's going to take a bite know what it is. Okay. So, please, like I said, take a minute. Hit the like button. Oh, why you want to come off? Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. It costs absolutely nothing. Leave a comment. That even looks delicious. Until next time, enjoy.